Welcome to DMOT Garage. We are working back on the 64 double door panel van. Let's come and have a look and see what we're doing today. We were putting all the window frames in, and what we're doing now is starting to cut the holes in the cargo doors. So we have a couple of sections here of panels from BBT, from Gordon, over at all air cooled. And we have our cargo door here, which you can see we've already kind of half chopped it. What we're going to do now is just cut this in half, and then we're going to graft this section here into the cargo door. So that's what we're up to today. Let's get set up and start doing some chopping. Righto, so what we've done, we have gone and cut the frame. You can see here, this is just the piece, or what's left of it. We've gone and cut out, and I just wanted to put it up on here to make sure we're going to line up with the other side and the swage line and all that. So yeah, but basically we're going to line it up in here, making sure that this line here is correct on both sides, which it is. And we'll tack it in position and then go from there. So a little bit of fandangling. I think that part there needs to just get pushed in a little bit deeper. Let me grab a hammer. There's a little bit of a bang there. That's better. Right, so what we're going to do, it's going to be a little bit tricky to try to tack it. And we also need to turn the gas on, which I thought we did turn the gas on. The gas should be on. Don't hear any gas coming out of it though. No. Well, that's a bit odd. So that's kind of, oh, okay, well that's not right. And that's not right here either. Might have to do a little bit of a relief cut there, looks like. Because that's pretty good up there, that's pretty good down there. We're a bit open here, that's all right. And we'll just have to recut the bottom. All right, let's see what's going on with this welder. All right, so we're a little bit tight on the bottom here. We'll fix that up. And a little bit tight here too. Right, so that's pretty much it tacked around. Now we will grind these ones back, and then we can just start filling the gaps. Do the TIG, same as the last window, and continue from there. So we'll bring you back in when this one's done. Righto guys, so you can see this one is welded in. I've given it a quick flat back with the grinder with a 40 grit. I think 40 grit, or maybe it was 80. It might have been 80 grit. Anyway, that one's done. We've just got to do a little bit more on this one here, and then we can start working on putting the inner skins, which are those ones there, and they are going to go onto, you can see here I've prepared the metal. They're going to get welded in. We've got to do a little bit of spot welding on those too, so I've brought the spot welder. So yeah, we'll just quickly finish off this door here. Finish off this one here quickly with the grinding, and then let's continue. Okay guys, so what we're doing now is we're going to put this panel in. We've obviously gone and treated all the exposed metal behind here with some epoxy, and we have our panel here, and this is going to be welded in like so. So what we'll do is just put a couple of clamps for now. Got to make sure that that won't be able to come back out. We're going to move over a bit. Just making sure our gaps are all correct. And we can put a couple of plug welds in just along here and along here. And then we'll finish off by going around the two lips here with the spot welder. We can just spot weld all the way around. Hopefully we can get this sort of levelish. We're not fitting exactly perfect, we're close. Oh yeah, that could be kind of clamped in a bit more. That's not bad. Just a little bit low here. So that end has to come up a bit. Okay, so what we're going to do, okay, we'll get that done like that, and we'll start putting a couple of tacks in. Righto, let's try the spot welder. This thing weighs a ton and it's not easy to use. Can we get it in here is the key. Yes, we can. That is heavy, but it's working. It's actually working really well too. Yeah, we've just got to put a lot more all the way around. This area here is going to be hard to get to because we've got this in the way, but we can sort that out later. All right, we'll try and flip it around. It's a warm day today, and this thing's heavy, so I'm sweating already. Okay. All right, we'll clean back these welds and we can get on to the other side. Righto fellas, so we have finished off this one in here. So that's all done, and we've used the spot welder just to go around the lip and get all that. You can see all these little marks here. That's kind of like what they did at the factory to get them all done. So that side's done. That side's done over there. We've now moved on to the cargo doors, and we have stitched in the inside panel. We've got that finished on all four of them, and they were tricky because we had to play around with this top edge, which you would have seen in that other section that didn't quite fit, but anyway, they're done. Now what we're on to is the bottom sections here, which were rusted out. So we've got some new metal. This part here you can see just needs to be welded in like that, and then on top of that we've got brand new pieces of steel which are here. So we've got three of those to put in, and then I think that might be the finished. There might be a little bit more welding to do underneath. I think there's a couple of plug welds we've still got to do, and a little corner on the other side. And also we have to finish off this section here. Yeah, that's right. This section here just needs to be finished off, so I've just got to grind that back and just plug up any little holes for that section. And then we're done with welding, which is fantastic. Then we can move on to bodywork. So let's continue over here, and we're going to finish off this section here. So we've got a bit of this business going on just underneath here, so we've got to make sure. I might have to flip this over. All right, just a sec. Okay, so that bit's done. We'll move on to the other side. Okay, so we've flipped her over and we have our inner piece here. This is from Autocraft in the UK, so really good quality pressings. You know, these guys make a lot of this stuff by hand, which is amazing to watch. If you follow them on Instagram, you'll see what I'm talking about. They do great work. Anyway, what we're going to do here is we're going to put a little bit of primer on the inside of this, and then this is going to get mounted like that, and then we're going to get it welded in. So we'll just prepare this area first and go from there.
A few moments later.
All right, let's get this thing in position. We're going to mount it in like that. Got a couple of clamps here to make sure that we're where we need to be. So we've got a little bit of modifying to do just here, but all in all that looks pretty good. A couple of fandangling on the corners here. Try a fit. It's just got to come out a little bit further with this guy. Okay, got a little bit more to do just there. Grind this back, and then we're going to do some spot welds along the bottom here and call this door good, and we can move on to the next one. Okay guys, so this one is done, and we'll put this door aside. We've got two more to do. These ones here have got some pretty bad rust on them too, so let's get those sorted as well. Okay, so we have the next section done. This one's a bit tricky because I did have to add an extension to the middle of it, but at least that one's done. We've got one more to go, and then we're going to have the cargo doors finished. Then we can fix up the other little bits and pieces. So, yep, let's keep going. Guys, so one of the next things we have to do is this last repair on the bottom of the door here, and you can see, you know, we've got a lot of rust in through here. So we have a replacement panel from Autocraft, and we also have the inner ribbing that we're going to have to weld in first. So I've marked a couple of lines. You can see where we're going to cut it straight across here, and then we've got we know exactly what the distance from here to the other side is. So we'll lock that off and start the new repair. Right, flip her over. Okay, one part off. As you can see here, we have the inner section just tack welded for now, and then I've also cut this outer section, and yes, it is pouring with rain outside. Sorry about that. This is going to obviously go on like that, and we're going to weld that into position and call it good. So let's get cracking. So there we go, that one is done, diddly done. Yeah, I'll just put a little bit of primer on it, but she's ready to rock and roll. That side's done. Of course, it's going to have upholstery and door cards and all that business on it. Done. Now, one of the next things that we are changing on this bus is we're putting a rear engine lid inspection hole, and we got this one. It needs a bit of work. You can see it's quite rusty, so we're going to have to do a little bit of wire wheel, or I might actually take it, put it into the sandblaster. I think, yeah, probably be easier just to sandblast that. We do have the lid for it too, which is this one here. And you can see I think I've got a bay window in my orange bus, but we're going to be putting in like that. So yes, that is going to be put in. So we've got to chop a dirty great big hole out. It's just going to be a lot easier to tune the carbies and get to be able to go inside it here. All right, let's do some cleaning up.
A few moments later.
Righto, so we have cleaned up the inner lip frame that we're going to be welding in, and I've got it lined up where it's going to go. Now, of course, we've just got to do some markings and then chop out that centre section. Now, if you have a look underneath the bus, we're going to be going through some ribs here, and you can see here there's one rib here and one rib there. Now, obviously, you're going to be affecting the structural rigidity of this area by cutting through these ribs, but we're gaining it back in by putting this big frame in, and obviously the metal lid that's going to be on it. So I've done this mod on my orange bus, but obviously the bay window hatch, not the Type 3. So anyway, yeah, let's mark this out and we'll get the grinder and cut a big hole in it. Right, we have a giant hole. So the next thing we're going to do is just trial fit the lip, and we're going to have to do a little bit of modifying and just trimming to make sure we can get the lip down. And I'll probably, I'll put it in the sandblaster and give it a coat of phosphoric acid, and then we can get some primer on it and get it welded in position. It's going to be fantastic because it means you can get to the fuel sender if you have to, and you can get to the carby. So yeah, this is going to be a great little addition to this modified vehicle. All right, I reckon that's it for this episode, guys. Thanks a lot for stopping in this week, and we will see you in another episode on DMOP Garage. Thanks for coming.